What's up, everybody? It's Nathan Payne and Nathan Valley. What's up, brother?
Yo, my man.
Yo, guys.
What's happening, brother?
Oh, dude, I'm excited. Guys, we're coming to you quick with some actual knowledge because, look, we don't have time to waste. You don't have time to waste. It's time to take action and use your time wisely and get some deals. So what we're going to do today, I have a buyer who is like, Nate, I need to spend my money. That's what he said to me. He says, Nathan, I got to spend my money and you help me find a deal. And this is what I said to him. I said, hey, bro, I can find you a deal, but let me get some equity in it. Not only give me a wholesale fee, but give me some equity. And he said, that's fine. Now, what this is an apartment complex. One of my buyers wants multifamily. All right. So we're going to show you how to use Privy to find multifamily in a specific area that meets the buy box criteria of one of my buyers that's willing to give me not only a wholesale fee, but equity in a deal. I did a $30,000 deal with him a couple months ago. Time to find him another deal. If you guys want to make money, this is how you do it. Let's go. You ready, Nate?
Yeah, man.
All right.
Who's bringing up? Do you want me to bring up my Privy?
Yeah. Share the screen. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to walk Nate through the criteria of my buyer, and he's going to set up the filter so everyone can see exactly how we use this on Privy. And we're going to take action. We're even going to call an agent, see if one will answer. Hey, baby. So that's how we get it done. Let's do it. And by the way, if anyone's watching this live, give me a shout out. Give us a shout out. We do read the comments while we're live on this thing. We go for about 15, 20 because we want to keep it quick. We want to keep you guys engaged. So tell us where you're coming from. If you have any questions, let's get it done. So Nate, can you go to the state of Utah? That is where my buyer is. He's in Utah. So right there, just type in the state of Utah.
So actually what we're going to do is we're going to go to filters. My computer's a little slow. All right, so we're going to be in Utah. Do you know any specific cities or counties?
Yeah, so he wants it might actually be easier to draw the location than just specific cities. So let's actually go to the state of Utah, run that search really quick.
Oh, actually,
you can just run it for the state of Utah.
Let's see. So, search.
Shout out to my man, Houston, Texas, my brother. I love it.
I think it
might. Is that it? Okay, so zoom out.
All right. So
okay, there's the state of Utah, boy. All right, I think you might need to go to deals and then search, go to where it says deals at the top, just so it starts populating some stuff. And then say find same fix and flip. Buy and hold actually is probably the button. Yeah. By the way, that we're kind of new. I'm kind of starting something new. I usually go single family, but I'm trying multifamily. But same concept. All right, Nate. So what my guy wants in the state of Utah is anything from. Actually, let me pull up his text message because he told me exactly what he wanted. I was talking to the buyer. I said, "Bro, where do you want to buy?" And he gave me the exact area. Were you gonna say something, Nathan?
I don't know. There is a draw feature.
There is. It's right there on the under sold on the right. It's a little pencil. Do you see where it says?
There it is. Okay.
Yeah, yes, sir.
Yeah, I see it.
But I'm gonna tell you exactly. Actually, instead of drawing, let me see. So he says, Weber County, but can be swayed. Okay. So zoom in where it says Salt Lake City, Utah, right now for me. Right there. Yes. Zoom in a little bit more. We're going to go with everything from Layton. You're going to draw a big circle from Layton all the way down to Lehigh, which is Layton is north of Salt Lake. Give me a big old circle. Yes, sir. Give me a big old.
So we can go. We'll go up.
Layton.
Is it? I think it's square. Hold on. All right, we're gonna get this.
It's looking okay. Yes, sir. It's a tool. You got to learn how to use it. Let's go. So we're going Layton all the way down to Lehigh. Bro, I don't know if it's what's going on, but it looks like that little cursor is just going wild.
Dude, it is. All right, we're gonna figure this out.
And honestly, if you can't draw for some reason, it's not working that well, we can just go Salt Lake.
All right.
He's cool. Oh, did it do it?
We're going to do Salt Lake.
Just go Salt Lake. Forget the
guys will be out that is probably not a Privy error. That's what we call an operator error.
It's called Nathan
so we got to figure out
and draw, bro. All right, so go to the filters. Let's see what filters we got. Okay, my man wants multifamily. Okay, attached, forget that. Active, let's go pending. Let's even go under contract. I'm willing to make calls. Let's get it done.
I love it.
Let's see what we got here. He says he's willing to spend up to $5 million on a multi-unit. So you would go to purchase price, to, it says 400,000. You'd go all the way up to 5 mil. There we go, brother.
All right.
And let's just see what we got. Let's see what we got in this area, because they're honestly might not. This is what he said for me. We were trying to stick within the Salt Lake, Davis, and Weber County area. We want 6 to 16 units. We're on the hunt for something so we can put our money somewhere. No, so I think we're just gonna have to see what Utah has to offer in that range of multifamily. Just I go pretty wide just to see what we got. If there's like a ton of opportunities, then we can filter, but there's probably not that many.
All right, so we got 13 results.
Okay, what do we got?
We got 13 results.
Okay, so this one has 4 units. My man wants 6 to 16 units. Are any of those between 6 and 16 units? I'm sure those are a lot of like duplexes. Well, that's 8 units right there for the 1.2 mil. Yes, sir.
This one right here.
Okay. Let's give it. Okay. That doesn't look too saucy, to be honest. This looks like a house that was just transformed into a multi-unit. Let's take a look at it. Oh my gosh.
Charming 6 unit, blah, blah, blah. Got box, just 2 blocks. Now, guys, one thing I will say specifically for multifamily, calling pending or under contract, I would still call, because even more so than with single family, guys, these things fall through. Like they're bigger deals. There's a lot more going on. There's typically more complexity. So there's still on the multifamily level, especially as you get bigger and bigger, guys, there's a lot of opportunity for you to be able to come in and still make a deal happen.
Now,
just 2 blocks.
Now, by the way, everybody, multifamily is it is different than single family. Single family, you're either looking to flip it and you're looking for similar comps. With this one, you have to cash flow as apartments. You have to, you're not going to buy something that doesn't make you money unless. And the problem with like Salt Lake and a lot of the West Coast states is that it's very hard to cash flow because the prices are so expensive. So it's a lot of equity plays. A lot of people are just buying so they can, have equity that grows over time. They do it for tax purposes. If they have a lot of money, they need to put their money somewhere on a 1031 exchange. So, yeah. Anything you want to add to that, Nathan? And by the way,
and same thing when we're calling. I was just gonna say when we're calling the broker, I'm gonna I would handle this conversation the exact same way that I would if I were calling a realtor for a single family house. And the way I do that is simply, I'm not looking to make an offer on the first phone call. I never want it personally. I never like doing that. And the reason being is, don't force yourself into a position to making an offer on the first call. In fact, give yourself the out, right? If the agent's like, oh, well, what would your offer be? Or what price do you think you would need to be at? On that first call, I'm always responding with, hey, good question. I'm really not sure. I like the property. I haven't had a chance to, really crunch all the numbers just yet. But I'll tell you what, let me take a look, and, if I think I'm in the right ballpark, I'll give you a call back, right? I'm going to say something along those lines so that I can call, ask a bunch of questions, get as much information as possible so that I can figure out, hey, where exactly do I need to be to make an offer? And then only if I know it's a good thing, a good deal to look more into, only if I know there's motivation, and a lot of potential of us putting a deal together, only then am I going to do the work of, taking the deep look, going through the comping process, all that stuff. Multifamily, it's even more so. The agent, they expect, they rarely expect you to make an offer on the first call, just because you need to figure out the rent roll, more details about the property, the leases. There's just a lot more information.
Right.
And if we did want to call this agent, as I was doing, guys, we're just going to copy the name of the brokerage, the name of the broker. I paste it right into Google, and then you're going to click on, yeah, I'd probably either call this right here, but ideally I want to look for the cell phone number. I hate calling the office phone. So Janella, however it's pronounced. So we want to call her directly.
And by the way, everyone, let me just say this. Nate made a great point that if you feel like you have to call and you have to make that offer, that probably keeps a lot of you from making calls because you're like, man, I don't want to sound like an idiot and make the wrong offer. Take that pressure away from yourselves, like he said. So let me tell you something else, guys. Like we are calling on this property. We don't know that much information about it, and we're calling in the behalf, or we're calling because we have a buyer. So the conversation we have is not going to be something like, "Hey, my name is Nathan. I'm a multifamily guru buyer that buys, and I have millions of properties." No, that's not genuine. That's not real. We're going to call and just be like, "Hey, look. Seems like a good property. I'm working with a couple partners on this deal, and we need to put our money. We have cost segregation purposes, like before the end of the year. If this one doesn't work, what else do you find? I'll look at everything in this area." So not only do we have her a relationship on this one, but we're trying to build future relationships where she can bring us anything else that she comes across. And we'll give her that buy box, 6 to 16 between Layton and Lehigh. We have our budget's $5 million. Now we have a bird dog or aren't just one soldier that's going to go out and look for us because she wants to get paid. You don't think she wants to make 3% or 1 or 2%, whatever you pay of $5 million? She's gonna be our best friend.
Absolutely, and especially when you kind of get into these bigger commercial deals, guys, it's a lot bigger paychecks for them as brokers. So if you're able to convey, hey, we have a serious buyer. They're really hungry, they're looking very aggressively and they're ready to buy something right now. Guys, brokers will get really excited to hear that. Much more than single family agents in my experience. And what I'm doing right here is I'm looking at comp. Now, here's a quick hack, guys. How do if I want to do multifamily, but you might say, Nate, I don't really know much about multifamily. That sounds really complicated. It sounds like there's a lot of other moving parts, and to a degree there is, but what's the way that you can hack that? Your buyer.
It's the same way you hack everything else.
100%. When you have that relationship with the buyer first and foremost, he will tell you, right, from asking him questions and learning from him, he'll let you know everything that he needs in order for it to be a deal for him. So he's going to tell you what questions you need to ask, what information you need to find out, what things to stay away from, what things that are good that he's looking for, right? And same thing on the single family side, right? So another thing that I could do is, when we look at the comps, when using Privy, you can use this for multifamily or single family, right? What I would do is I would look here and have buyers in this area. Let me click on this one. Okay, let me see if I could bring this up. And maybe I call that other agent, or maybe I call a multifamily. I'm like, man, it's not a good fit for the buyer that I had. But when I spoke with the agent, there's a lot of motivation here. They're looking to make a deal happen. Well, maybe I try to find other buyers in this neighborhood. This is one of the things I love about Privy is when I go to the comps, right? Let me go back and show you guys again real quick. When I'm looking at the comps, if I spoke to this agent, right, and they said, and there's a bunch of motivation, I'm going to look at the comps and I'm going to, try to find other properties in the neighborhood. What are similar properties in this neighborhood that investors have bought? And so I would go here. And what would I do? This was a property that was already done. That investor bought, and I think they're looking to sell. So what you can do is, if this was a property that already sold, or if somebody had bought a property, I would call the agent. Now, there's two things you can do. You can either go to public records, and if you just click that button, boom, it throws you all the way down here. Now look at property history. Boom. Now I'm going to see the buyer right here. Who was the last buyer?
My girl Judith.
Shooting Holdings LLC. And then I would look up the owner of this LLC and then call them. If that's too difficult, or if you can't do that, right, the next easiest thing, guys, I would just take the I would copy this information for the real estate agent and the brokerage they work with, and I would get this agent, Gary. I would get his phone number and call him up and say, hey, Gary, I've got a deal. I saw the property on on 171 West 300 that you had as a listing. I've actually got a deal that I'm working right around the corner. I think I can get it at a really good price. Is your buyer for that property interested in another deal? Now, they might say yes, they might say no, but you're going to be able to find out a lot of really good information by talking to Gary. And Gary might say, oh, this buyer for 171 West 300, they were looking to sell. They're not interested in buying anymore, but I actually have somebody else that's really, really hungry looking for a multifamily deal. What do you got? And then boom, right there, you're able to create a relationship with Gary, who's able to give you a ton of information and maybe hook you up with a buyer. So the buyer that you were originally using might have not been, this deal that we looked at. If we called this agent, it might have not have been able to be a good deal for the buyer we originally had. But if I already did the hard work of talking to that agent, making a phone call, learning all the details, and I knew there was motivation, and I knew by what they told me and from the numbers I was looking at, I was like, man, this might not be a deal for our buyer, for our other buyer, but man, I think this could actually be a really good deal for somebody else. Well, that's when I'm going to go into these comps, and I'm not going to let all that time go to waste. I'm going to look, and try to find a buyer right there in that neighborhood. And guys, this is where you're going to find your best buyers. Again, there's so many things I love about Privy. I feel like I say this all the time nonstop, but their comps feature is so good, right? And you can call, because the best buyer is going to be the one that's already bought in that neighborhood, the person that's already done a deal in that neighborhood. Guys, you don't need a list of 10,000 buyers. You don't need a list of 20,000 people. You just need the one right buyer. And this is how you can find just the one right buyer from making one phone call. All right. You don't need to make a million phone calls. You don't got to do all this crazy stuff with blasting out emails that nobody's going to open anyways. Right. This is how you create relationships. This is how you take that sniper approach. This is how you be effective. And guys, this is how you're able to do deals, especially bigger deals. Bigger deals, it's only relationships that get, in my opinion, it's only relationships.
They're not willing to work with someone they don't trust. So let's answer a question really quick. Khalil Perry says, if you're going through the agent, how do y'all compensate the listing agent? Well, the listing agent that listed the property, if anyone buys the house, they get compensated because they listed it. So they get paid the percentage that they agreed with the seller. If you're referring with a buyer's agent, we don't use buyer's agents. That's why, people are incentivized to work with us, is because that listing agent can not only get one side of the listing commission, but they can get the other side of the buyer's commission because they're representing us, which, they can either give a discount to the seller or they can take the full commission. And by the way, they love taking that full commission on multifamily. They're like, yeah, let me freaking go. Let's go. So Nate, we want to keep these calls short. We want to allot them to about 15 minutes just so we could get in and out and show you guys this is about taking action, not just about watching it and thinking, just sitting there and being like, oh, they're doing it. No, we just showed you exactly how to go ask a buyer what the criteria is, how to filter it, how to look for it, and we're gonna make a call. Tune in for the next one. We'll pick up where we left off. We'll make the call, and that's how it's done, everybody. If you're not filtering, making the calls, making the relationships, making the offers after you establish the relationship, then you know, if you're not willing to do that, you're probably not going to get a deal. So it's not a rocket science, you know. It's easy. You just got to do it.
100%. And guys, yeah, don't focus, you know, don't get too worked up on like, oh, I got to make 1,000,000 calls and get a dot. No. Privy is all about that sniper approach. Guys, just focus on making that one phone call. Do the best that you can on that one call to that one agent or that one buyer. And if you don't have buyers yet, guys, don't be calling sellers or agents. Don't make offers until you have buyers in place, which again, you can absolutely use. Privy's amazing for that, right? Maybe that's actually what we'll go over next time is how to look up buyers, right? For single family or multifamily. And guys, you're going to call those buyers up, or you're going to call the agent that represents those buyers. You can do either or, and you're going to find out, hey, what are they looking for? And then you're going to use the same tool, Privy, to find the deals for that buyer.
Damn.
Easy as that.
Yeah. So if anybody wants to know the strategy that we're implementing, it's called painless wholesaling. And it's all what it is. It's building those awesome relationships, forging awesome relationships with buyers, and then using them to leverage, you know, how to find the right deal for them and get paid. So if you've done it the other way of just, let me just go look for a deal. I don't know what I'm looking for. I don't know what I'm doing. I don't know what offers people accept. You lock up a deal, you can't sell it. That's a big waste of your time. We've all done it because that's how we were taught. Not what I teach and not what I tell people to do. Do it the painless way. Get your buyer, lock it in, and that's how you get it done. All right, Nate, you got anything else to say before we sign off?
That's all I got, man.
Guys, anytime we go live, tune in because we're giving you the juice. We just don't talk. We're about taking action. So, see you guys next time.
Later, guys.